Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. And keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as, investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy! Alright folks, here we are on Monday, April 22nd. We're going to take a look at GM today. So with earnings coming up, I thought we'd come and take a look at GM, see where some levels might position themselves. Now, it has had, the biggest thing that stands out to me to kick things off, it has had an intense run-up of about $20, or darn close to double the price, $26.15 up to $46.04, and that's relatively recent. Now, it obviously took it in sort of tranches here, if you will, periods sort of spanning between ex-dividend dates and earnings dates, and kind of spreading the action between those. So we're back to one of those earnings dates again. So we'll see if this sort of sets off, the next push, or if it kicks off a pull of some sort, pulling it back to some degree, toward that 26 level. Whether that means it just comes down to 40, I'm not saying it's going to come down to 26, but toward it. Now, of note, the candle it put in today, Monday, ahead of the earnings, is trying to poke its head up out of this downtrend resistance. Not the lengthiest or maybe the strongest downtrend resistance ever, because it is pretty new, but it has been sort of, candle by candle, respecting that level for a while, and then it got some distance on this day where it pulled back really just about 1%, but it was able to get some distance from there and then sort of try to consolidate itself along this 42.79 level, and it's trying to sort of sidestep its way out of there at the moment. We'll see if that can persist, or if the reaction to earnings is big enough that it jumps past or through these levels. But if it does move relatively sideways, I would look for it to kind of continue to wrestle with that 42.79, which it has been doing for quite a few days now. If it does pull back into the downtrend resistance 40.72, 36.83, and 32.38 are the support levels that I have on the chart. If it does get jumpy, let me see if I put anything above that 47. Yeah, so if it does get jumpy, I have 45.92, 47.93, and then 52.87 as sort of a a goalpost out there for the future if it continues to push on for days and or weeks. But first things first, if it can get itself out from under this downtrend resistance, that will obviously help it from a chart perspective to be able to get some distance from any further clawing back of the gains that it has had for the last, say, 6 or 7 months. On the think or swim side of things, you can see that run up here. It's sort of in the middle of it, we had a nice consolidation along the mid-range of the channel while TTM squeeze indicators started triggering, fired, and that set off a next big move. And then we see a couple of others. We see a trigger fire here, which was sort of nothing, and then a re-trigger and a refire set off this sort of most recent move, push it up out of the upper bound of the channel, spent quite a few days up out of there, finally drew itself back in, and that's where we find ourselves now, back situated to the mid-range of the channel. As there's no trigger happening on the TTM squeeze indicator at the moment, but it is, like I say, sort of wrestling with the mid-range of that channel. Wave cloud getting kind of thin at the moment, but certainly not, not coming to a point of disappearance just yet, but certainly neutralizing. You see that green is about gone, the blue is still there to some degree, and so it's sort of neutralized the trend as it is pinned to the mid-range of the channel. So if we do get a decent reaction, but it stays within the bounds of the channel, 41.04 to the lower bound, and then 45 to the upper bound, with the mid-range being about where the price is situated right now. All right, folks, I hope that your trading week is off to a good start, and as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.